Right, we have a jam-packed episode today, so sit back, relax, and please like and subscribe because it really does help. Now, question number one, after binging many of your videos, I see the importance of changing my pet's food. I have noticed the higher quality brands have much smaller bag sizes, £17 versus £11. If better ingredients, do we really cut the portion size by that much? Could you address this, please? Yes, of course I can. Now, thank you so much. The realization starts like that. You suddenly think and feel like you are not providing your pets with the best nutrition. So congratulations on taking the first step. Because that will stay with you forever. You will forever now look at ingredients and see whether a food is appropriate and give it a second and a third thought. So not all good brands have smaller bag sizes, unfortunately. At the moment, everybody is trying to do this thing called shrinkflation, whether they shrink the bag and the contents they are giving you, like Colgate, for example, for whenever you want to brush your teeth. It used to be 100 milliliters, is now 75 milliliters, I believe. And so you are getting charged the same, but you are getting a lot less product, in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, no, factually. Same happens with Doritos and same happens with everything else. So whenever these things happen, they happen across the board. It doesn't just happen with the best brands. It happens across the board, and we are seeing it with good brands, bad brands, and horrible brands. The thing you need to look at is the crude protein, and the crude protein will be on the analytical constituents on the back of the bag. And let's say, for argument's sake, that you buy a very low quality kibble and the crude protein is 20%, and then you buy a phenomenal quality protein and the protein is 40%. That is double the amount of protein. Will you be able or feed your dog half on the second food? Yes and no, maybe. You will be feeding them a lot less, almost half, and we see this all the time. We change people from really bad kibbles or really bad foods or really bad whatever onto better foods, and they feed a lot less. The dog needs a lot less. The dog poos out a lot less, and the dog retains a lot more of the nutrients. At the end of the day, you want to be paying for protein. The question here, and something really important you need to look out for, and this is why the pet food industry is such a minefield, is potato protein, tapioca protein, and any protein that doesn't come from animal sources. So I want to be paying for animal protein, chicken, lamb, rabbit, ostrich, sardines, mackerel, whatever. But I don't want to be paying for potato protein. So even if the crude protein is very high, I would double check that protein comes from animal sources. So yes, you will be feeding the dog a lot less. Your dog will be a lot happier. You will see an improvement in the coat. The better the quality of the food, the better the overall health. We see this all the time. It's well worth it if you are spending, say, $20 on a bag of food and you start spending $60 or $70 on a much better bag of food. You will see the difference. You will absolutely love how your dog looks and feels, and they lose weight. Everything will be better. It's a no-brainer. Thank you so much for the question, and thank you for watching. Next question. Thanks for the heads up. I am here because I have never had a problem feeding my dog Akana until this last bag, and he's doing sloppy stools and he's still hungry after his food. Could anyone recommend a better alternative? Well, I mean, yes, I kind of changed the recipe, but I don't think that recipe is making your pet runny stools, rather. Akana is still a pretty decent bag of kibble. The quality is not what it was, but I don't think that's new, or you want to hear otherwise, because it isn't. You can see for yourself. The addition to pearl barley is, in my opinion, a dilution, but at around its price point, it's a phenomenal bag of kibble. It's a phenomenal bag of kibble, and it's so much better than a lot other alternatives that are pretty rubbish for the price. So, can you recommend a better alternative? By the way, I'm not affiliated or sponsored by Akana. I say whatever I want. So yeah, whatever I want, I say. Could anyone recommend a better alternative? I have done many reviews on dog foods. If you go to the playlist, you'll see a lot of dog and cat food reviews, and yeah, there's loads there. And on the Q&As, I answer questions about different brands and different things. So yeah, thank you for the question. Next one, we move on to Crufts. As a show breeder, I can tell you that at least with my breed, we have no issues like that. We breed for health and do health tests and study pedigrees more than anyone ever would. And this is in response to a video I made on whether Crufts is cruel or not. Because I made a video that the Dogs Trust, the RSPCA, and PETA opposed Crufts. They opposed a lot of what goes on at Crufts, and sometimes I think it's hard to debate why. Some of these dogs are overbred. Some of these dogs have really inherently poor skeletal structures. We have the flat noses, we have the difficulty breathing, we have the inherent allergies of certain dog breeds, and we see breeds that they might look really nice and they might look really good, but they're not the best dogs. Having said that, I do believe, and I believe this wholeheartedly, that the people at Crufts, like this person here, all the show breeders, they love dogs. They absolutely love dogs. This is their little world, their breed, and what they do with their dogs when they breed them. That is their life. And excuse me. And it's amazing to see sometimes, because they will love what they do. They love what they do. They put all the effort and enthusiasm and spare time into this thing, and it's lovely to see and it's lovely to hear. And I know for a fact, from knowing certain breeders, they go above and beyond. They do all the health checks. They travel to different countries. They want to avoid certain lines and certain genes. They do everything by the book. It's really good. Now, should certain breeds not be bred anymore? Probably. That's what I would like. Is it going to stop? No. What do we need to do? Encourage more people like this viewer here to do what they do, because in our branches, people will come in and they breed dogs in their back gardens, as it were, and it's horrible. It's so horrible. And they come in every single 2 weeks or whatever with a new litter of puppies, and you know for a fact they haven't done any health checks. They haven't done anything at all for those dogs. All they are after is a bit of money, and that is a tragedy, my friends. So the more breeders like this viewer we have, in my opinion, the better. Thank you for the question. hey, my dog is really itchy. He's on raw right now. He's a 7-month blue staffy. I want to switch him to dry food. Is there any food you recommend I try? Please help me. He's also developing warts and losing a bit of hair. Well, with a two-liner, it's very hard to say. I would encourage you to book a consultation with us. You can go to thepetquarter.co.uk, tab consultation, and me or one member of my team will assist you. You have a couple problems. The first problem is you have a blue staffy. It's a very overbred thing. It's in relation to what I was saying before. Is one of those breeds that is not bred by the best breeders, and so the problem might be within. You can definitely and certainly mitigate the problem, and you can certainly have the dog on a better food, but it would really look into and I can't just give you specific advice on something I don't really know in depth. I don't have any data, so I would encourage you to book a consultation. As someone who trained vets and their teams on therapeutic nutrition, for a urinary cat, the crucial point is to restrict the minerals that the crystals and stones are made of: calcium, phosphorus, sodium, and magnesium. If you don't feed a food restricted in these minerals, you will continue to have this problem. You are right that moisture helps flush out crystals. Also, a diet can create and maintain a specific urine pH to create an environment that prohibits stone formation. Just feeding fresh meat is not going to address any of the critical points I just mentioned. The ingredients you consider poor quality actually deliver non-meat amino acids to help produce the reduction of minerals. So there's much more that goes into these diets. Sam, I love your passion, but you need to investigate why board-certified vet nutritionists use some of these ingredients to formulate a complete diet, especially for ill pets. There is a real science to it. Thank you so much for the question. And this is an answer to last week's Q&A where I was talking about struvite crystals and any sort of renal issues that dogs or cats might encounter, and why prescription diets aren't good in my opinion. And so the argument broadly here is that some people want to focus only on the minerals and the minerals, basically, the minerals, and whether that is the end-all be-all or whether ingredients do play a part in your dog's nutrition. So, is a Pop-Tart with the best minerals better than Wagyu beef? I don't think so. Is a Pop-Tart better with better minerals if you infuse the minerals or whatever than a feta cheese salad? No, it isn't. Feta cheese salad, better ingredients, it's better for you. It's more natural, it's much better. You cannot tell me that maize gluten, wheat, barley, corn, rice, meat and animal derivatives, and all these things prevent struvite crystals, or we should just get past these ingredients because we really focus on the minerals and the calcium and phosphorus and sodium and magnesium ratios. Now, obviously, there is going to be a spectrum, right? Whereby if a cat or a dog is really out of whack in terms of minerals, yes, we are going to look at those ratios. But let me tell you, board-certified vet nutritionists need to study nutrition a bit more and to prescribe foods with sugar, to prescribe foods with wheat, barley, corn, soy, meat and animal derivatives, natural flavors, and all these things is not on. I'm not having it. I am not having it. This is something I really, really believe in. And I don't think it's not to do with fresh meat. It's got to do with better food. Whether the real science, not real science, vet approved, not vet approved. Everything is vet approved these days. Find me a food or a treat or something within the pet food industry that isn't vet approved these days. You can't find it. Everyone has hopped on the bandwagon and everything is vet approved these days. So what is good and what is bad? Well, because a food is board certified or certified by a vet nutrition, or it says complete and balanced on the front, we should just believe it and just get past poor quality ingredients. I'm not having it. I am definitely not having it. I stand by everything I said in the video. As far as I'm aware, and from the experience that I've gotten with a lot of dogs, there's so many things that go into stone formation in the kidneys, and one of them is breed, just the genes, just the genetics of the dog. The second one is poor quality diet. But then I've read articles that don't correlate diet with struvite crystal formation, so there's always conflicting information. I just think that we need to take a much better approach to how we tell the public what to buy. And I think that the best thing is to look at the ingredients, because those are the raw materials. A turd is a turd and a turd, and those can have incredible minerals. I'm not buying it. I want to buy really good quality food for my dog or cat, whether that's fresh or that's not fresh. I'm not a raw dog food maximalist by any means. Thank you for the question. I have worked in grooming salons, and some of the dogs will spend hours on the table. Some breeds, for example, poodles and Bedlington Terriers, those are wonderful dogs, Bedlington Terriers. They have the cutest eyes ever. Are really hard to groom, and it can take 10 hours plus sometimes. The corded breeds, such as the Commando and Puli, require days of grooming because regularly each individual cord needs forming and splitting, as their coat is basically just matting. Also, if they get wet, it's like trying to dry out a towel, really hard, and it's a higher risk of skin infection and mold. I personally don't think that is fair. Also, most dogs do not enjoy being groomed, my dog included. They either fight it or just accept it because they don't have a choice. No dog actually gets happy and looks forward to it. It's boring and stressful for them. Listen, it's really, really hard to argue with this. It's incredibly hard to argue with this. If you have a dog, that dog should live a happy life, and there is an argument, like this viewer is saying, that if your dog is constantly at the groomers, trying to look a very specific way, their quality of life is going to be a tad diminished. And so, yeah, I fully agree. I don't think I can disagree with that. You know, I personally don't think that is fair. I don't think it's fair either. I am in full agreement with that. Royal Canin, why do vets recommend this if people say it's so bad? Yeah, I wouldn't feed Royal Canin. I have made a few videos on your Royal Canin. I would go back and watch those. Thank you. Now, let's go into the nitty-gritty here. We have two big topics, the Crufts fallout, and we have your vet bills that have been increasing in the past few years. So we are going to cover the Crufts controversy. For those who haven't seen it, I would go back on the channel, and I've made 3 videos now from 3 different perspectives with the 3 parties involved. There's Lickimat, which do enrichment toys for dogs, and is a really big brand. I believe it's all over the world. Every single country will have a version of this, and they are wonderful products. They are ubiquitous, and everyone has them. Anyway, they were at Crufts showcasing their products, and they invited a popular online dog trainer to do a book sign at their stall. The guy in question is called Adam Spivey, Southend Dog Training. He is huge on social media, and he has released a couple books. He has gone on a few podcasts, and he's very big in the online world. And a lot of people oppose him because of his use of e-collars and prong collars. Now, I don't agree with e-collars and prong collars, but I don't know the full extent of his involvement. I don't want to cast an opinion either way. But anyway, certain people asked Lickimat not to go ahead with the event. And they said, no, we are going to carry on with the event, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to create some social media buzz. We're going to sell some product. We are going to partner with Adam. Adam is going to be seen to partner with us, and we are both going to make some money. That's my assumption, and what most likely happened. People didn't take it well. People hurled abuse at Lickimat, apparently, at the stall. People then took to social media and started slagging off the brand online. People cutting Lickimat, people binning them, people doing all sorts of things just because they had platformed a guy that uses e-collars and prong collars. Now, that is the thing. And we have some comments. The first comment, I like your video, is a pretty balanced approach. However, it's not a personal attack on Southern dog training, but on practices that not only promote dog abuse, but pose a safety risk to the public, as it's proven by behavioral science that his aversive methods make dogs more aggressive. We already have a widespread problem with dangerous dogs in the UK, and dog training is an unregulated body. This is why it's dangerous to promote dog trainers who may be popular on social media but actually make dog behavior worse. I somewhat agree. I would say that in order to give Adam's sort of version of the event, and I'm not speaking for him and I'm not defending him, he must see some breeds that are incredibly challenging. So I was talking to a customer the other day, and I was telling them that, listen, we live in a world where all we see is cockapoos and border collies and golden retrievers all day, and those are wonderful breeds and they are lovely, and it's very, very easy for us to sort of train them and for us to do a couple of those tricks and for those training methods to work. What about if you're in the ghetto and you get an XL bully, or you get a bull mastiff and the kid is 16 or 18 or 20 and the dog is out of control, and the dog has bitten someone, or the dog has already had a really, really poor quality of life, the dog has been abused, the dog has launched itself, I don't know, whatever the case might be, then maybe some of those training methods are granted instead of putting the dog to sleep. Maybe, I don't know whether you remember, and another customer was saying this the other day. If you look at the biggest dog trainer in the world back in the day, Cesar Millan, some of those training methods, and he used to hit dogs like that on the neck, I don't think that would fly very well today, mainstream. But he did it, and it seemed to work for him. So it might be true that with certain breeds, under certain situations, it is granted for some of those methods to be put in place. But again, I'm not defending, and I'm not exonerating Adam. So there you go. Anyway, another comment. What's tricky is, even if his methods are effective, he has no formal qualification to back this up. Even if he uses techniques which are similar to those advised by formally trained individuals, if he is open and honest that he uses techniques that are derived from personal experience, not from any formal training, then he is clarifying to his audience his background. That would be useful to him, in my opinion, is to get the formal qualifications which backs him up. I strongly suggest that he looks at the Association of Pet Behaviour Counsellors. Here, the general public can source qualified trainers. Yes, that could be. Listen, that could be an option. That could be the thing he needs to do. Maybe people need to go and look for a trainer on this channel, on this social media, at the Association of Pet Behaviour Counsellors, which I have no affiliation with. But at the same time, dog training is everywhere. It's a very Me Too thing to do. Wherever you live, there's probably 40 to 50 different dog trainers, and it's going to be impossible for some of those dog trainers that don't make that much money to start with to get some qualification that only will appeal to a very small percentage of the population. Because at the end of the day, we live in a world where likes and audiences really do work, and that's what matters. And I can be the best painter, the best musician in the world, but if I'm not marketed like Taylor Swift, or I don't put all my paintings or how I do things as a tradesperson on social media, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. So perception is reality these days. With qualifications, as I get older, I try to think about this in a pragmatic way. Let me explain to you why. I went to uni, and I paid an awful lot of money for a business management qualification. And when I got out of uni, I started earning £16,000 for a while. And it wasn't just 1 year, it was several years. And I could not get ahead for my life. It was really, really hard. And I had a degree. I had a qualification. I was qualified. I was qualified in business. I was applying to all these, graduate programs. Not a chance. Absolutely not a chance. And then I started my own business, for which I have no qualifications in. And here I am, all these years later. And this is not to say that qualifications aren't important. I don't think they are the end-all be-all. And labels sometimes are not the end-all be-all. So yeah, anyway, that's my opinion anyway. Let's talk about vet prices. The Competition and Markets Authority in the UK has launched, or is about to launch, an investigation onto how prices are done, how vet services are given, how the whole industry works. I was with a friend yesterday, and he said that he had taken his senior dog to the vet, and he needed a prescription. And he wanted a paper prescription, not the actual prescription, because he had seen that the prescription, the vet was charging them £62. He could get it for £12 online. So there's a big disparity between £12 and £62. So he asked for the paper prescription, to which the vet said, no, we are sorry, we have to give you the prescription alongside the paperwork, and you can only get it from here if you want to buy it. I was listening to the BBC, and a spokesperson for the British Veterinary Society, I believe, I don't want to get this wrong, was saying that, well, we don't buy wholesale, and because we don't buy wholesale, we have to price our products and our prescriptions accordingly, and people selling them online might not have that dilemma because they might just buy things wholesale. And I hear bullshit there on that statement, and you can go back and watch it. It was on BBC Money, I think, Wake Up to Money, Tuesday 12th of March, and that's what that guy was saying, and I called bullshit, and I tell you why. We are not as big as Pets at Home by any means, or Jollies, or Pepco, or Walmart, or a big box retailer. We are a tiny chain of independent pet shops, and some of our products are actually cheaper than you can buy on some of those big box retailers. A lot of the food is sometimes cheaper than what you can buy for those in those big box retailers. So he is talking complete bollocks, in my opinion. So they've had it too good for too long, in my opinion, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So that's the bad news for you and me. It's not going to change anytime soon. I mean, good luck getting petrol or diesel for a lot cheaper around you, wherever you are in the world. Good luck trying to get something for a lot cheaper from a supermarket, wherever you are. Whenever there's little competition, that's, it's... the price gouging is incredible. They can price the services at whatever price they want, and we cannot do anything. What are you going to do? My dog there, he is almost 10 now, and his insurance has gone up by £20 a month on the back of nothing. Never claimed for anything, yet you have to pay the premium. You know why you have to pay the premium? Because they control the football. And so until we have more competition in the industry, that's what we are going to have to do. We are going to have to suck it up and hope that the Competition and Markets Authority does something. What that something might be, I have no idea. I totally have no idea. So yeah, I definitely have been feeling the price hike. Within 2 months, I have spent approximately $800 on one cat and one dog. None of it for any type of emergency care. Yep. Second comment, taking my dog to the Netherlands. Today, read online that pet health certificate will be £100. My vet quoted me £250. I shopped around, and £250 in my area is the cheapest. If I drive to the other side of the country, I can get it for £100. So that's a big price disparity, by all means. And yeah, that's not something that is going to change anytime soon. Again, yesterday on BBC Wake Up to Money, there was a dog who had some dental issues, and those dental issues had cost the owner £800, and that is a lot. It is just a lot of money. It's a lot of money. There's no two ways about it. what I was saying in the video as well is that what you need to do is wake up and smell the coffee. You need to educate yourself on pet nutrition. You need to educate yourself on how you do things with your dog or cat. Let me tell you, since I learned and I got into this industry and I advocate for the things I advocate for, my dog and my cat live wonderful lives. They live incredibly fulfilling lives. They're happy, they're vibrant, the coats are incredible, the teeth are incredible, everything is wonderful. And a dog and a cat have very few inputs: what the dog eats, what the dog or cat drinks, and the levels of activity. If you take care of those three things, your chances of going to the vet radically diminish. It is what it is. If you look after yourself, if me and you look after ourselves and we are slim and healthy and lift weights or go out for walks and we eat good food and we top up on olive oil and all these things, we know we are more likely to live longer. So my suggestion to you is to please like and subscribe, because obviously it really does help the channel. But then I want you to really do make a conscious effort with your pet, and you will see the difference, and it will change you forever. The way you look at things, the way marketing works in the pet food industry, the way people are trying to sell you things, everything will change, and you will be a lot better for it, and you will be a lot happier for it. So that is my advice to you. Any questions, please let me know. Any questions, if you require a consultation, thepetquarter.co.uk/consultation. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. You have been wonderful.